What is a short sale? Well, what you need to know about a short sale is that they are not short on a timeline. The only thing getting shorted in a short sale situation is the bank or lien holder that had given a loan to the previous buyer. Now, a perfect example would be, we'll call John Smith, owner of this property that he purchased around 2007. Now, John paid $250,000 for his house 7-8 years ago. He still owes about $240,000 on that house, and he contacts a real estate agent. We'll call that agent Joshua Meeks. He says, Joshua, I would like to sell my house, but I have a feeling it's not worth quite what I paid for it, and I know it's going to cost me some money to sell this home as well. So either myself or another agent, we would do a broker price opinion on this home. This is where we get a professional evaluation of what the value is on this home. We present that to the bank and we say, hey, we're going to list this property. They say, well, we haven't approved that price, but go ahead and list the property and we'll see where it goes. So we list that property for $220,000, let's say, because that's all it's worth in this market. Now, we put that home on the market and a prospective buyer puts a full price offer for $220,000. Now, the seller says, I will take $220,000. The buyer says, I'll buy it for $220,000, but we still don't have approval from the bank. So the listing agent goes back to the bank and they say, hey, Mr. Banker, we'll call them Bank of America. We have an offer for $220,000. We listed it for $220,000. We've evaluated the home and we think it's worth about $220,000. What do you say? Now the bank, hems and haws and they look at that and eventually they come back and they say one of two things. $220,000 sounds good. We'll take a loss of $30,000 on the home or whatever is still owed. Or, we think it's worth $225,000. At that point, they have to come back to the buyer and say, Mr. Buyer, we know we listed it for $220. We know you put an offer for $220. We have mutual acceptance pending the bank's approval at $220. But the bank said that they want $225. Now, at this point, the buyer can either say one of two things. Great, I'll buy it for $225. Or, it's just not worth $225 for me. I'm going to move on. Now, if they decide that they would not like to purchase the property for $225, that property is likely going to go back on the market as an approved price for $225,000. Keep in mind, while this process will take, roughly 2 minutes to explain, it could take 2 months to 2 years for the bank to, go ahead and respond back exactly what they will or will not accept. So, that's why we say what they're not short on is a timeline. What is getting shorted is the bank. So if your agent says, if you're in a hurry at all, you may not want to consider short sales. That's why they really want to protect your interest. They could be a good opportunity for making some instant equity if you're willing to risk the time and you have the patience to wait around for it. Otherwise, you may want to look, at bank-owned homes or just another listing on the market. So if you have any other questions about short sales, feel free to contact anytime.